Okay, we have a new product in today to take a look at. Might be able to see a little bit by the diagram on the outside of the box. Gosh, there's so many stickers on this thing that I can't really tell what it is. So I'll go ahead and open it up. We'll do the quick unboxing, take out some of the padding. And this is actually a set of the Molle panels for the Frunk. All right, we've got a whole set of instructions here, our associated hardware and the panels. So we're going to take these out to the truck and get them installed. But first, I'd like to thank our sponsor Teslaunch for sending this set of Molle panels so we can give it a try out in the Cybertruck. So stay tuned. Let's go hit the truck. So one quick note on taking these out of the box. You'll see there's kind of some grooves in the packing styrofoam. There are actually these padded little rubber strips, that'll maybe see it here better on the end, that go on the edge of the metal, of course, to keep it from scratching anything up, from rattling around, etc. Those strips tend to stay down into this channel, so make sure that when you pull your pieces out, you find the associated rubber strips that go with them, and be sure and attach it to the panel itself. So just a little tip before we get started. All right, before we get started, I thought I would just lay out some of the hardware here that you'll find covered quite well in the instructions. And of course, I've laid out the two panels. So we're going to have two of these longer U-bolt brackets that will have the T-bolts that go up through them. They'll actually get a washer before the nut. And then same thing over here, there's a single T-bolt, and we'll have a washer and nut for each of these smaller brackets. And then we have these screws and washers for attaching the panels to these brackets themselves. So again, all pretty straightforward and spelled out in this set of instructions, but thought I would lay out the hardware. And then of course you've got the couple of the tools here to help you along the way with the installation. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the Frunk on the Halo Cybertruck, and we'll get started installing the first set of U-brackets. Okay, so for this first U-bracket, just to step back for a second, you can see the inside of the Frunk. So you'll notice that you have to turn these so that they catch underneath. Oops. Likewise, the same over here. Of course, I didn't put the nut on that. I was just setting it up for filming, so I'll get this other one put back in. Okay, once you have those T-bolts in place, you're going to put those in, then you're going to put a washer on, then you're simply going to put the nut on over that. Now notice there's a tiny little stud on the back side of the bracket, so it actually keeps that T-bolt from rotating around, because you're going to want that to stay underneath the middle stainless bracket here of the Frunk. So I'm just going to put those just kind of finger tight at the moment, and then we'll put the second one on next. So actually I thought I'd try something different on the second one. Notice that I've already put the washer and the nuts on. So in which case it should be just as easy as putting it up here and then rotating those one direction or the other, and sure enough, it is. I mean, obviously I got to tighten it up to snug it up there, but rather than fight with nuts that are falling off against you, you could just do it that way and then quickly tighten it the rest of the way. Okay, the next step is I'm just going to use this tool, of course, to tighten all four of these nuts and get this positioned where I want it. One of the things I also decided to do is, hey, let's just grab a panel a second, see how well this panel lines up. If I line up that bottom hole, the top one is, gosh, about dead center of that slot. So it looks like we have pretty good positioning for where these two brackets are, which is literally pretty much at the bottom and pretty much almost at the top. So that should make spacing these out even easier. Next, we're going to have to get the individual brackets that go on the outer right and left sides to get ready to mount the panels themselves. Okay, now for this single bracket, it's a little bit different. It fits in a slightly different way than these center ones do, and really they fit in over in these holes. So you'll see this T bracket here. I want to get that inside the hole itself and then pivot this so that the lip goes underneath that edge. And then once I have that in place, I will simply tighten that down and install the other one. Okay, now that we have the outer brackets, the two inner bracket, the other outer bracket, I guess there, all installed, we are ready to install one of the panels. And the panel just simply will go over, for example, the lower hole, upper hole, and then the outer hole that will all line up with here, here, and here. And as you can see, those last two are slotted, so you're going to want to attach this one down here first, line up for up top, and then of course move the bracket a little bit so that we can line up. There we go, with this one here. So I'm going to set the camera down for a moment and put these screws in, and then I'll show you those getting tightened up. So I now have the right panel installed, and again I did it with these little screws going through the panel and into the brackets underneath. So I'm going to take 3 more of these combos and attach this other side next. All right, so as you can see, we have the Frunk Molle racks installed, all tightened up and ready to strap some items to them. By the way, you should have received some blue straps in your box. They were actually in another box that I had received from Teslaunch, but that's okay. I will get those out of the other box and put them here on the racks to help strap some items to the rack. I've got a couple things I think I want to put up there, some cleaning items, and who knows, maybe a couple of Master Chief items while I'm at it. There is one little note that I want to say. You might see, let's see if we can focus in on the screws. Yeah, that's like kind of the black paint is off of that. I did have in the upper bracket, both of those holes, I don't know if they just had some extra paint in them or just the, the paint that's on the black screws. Those upper ones were harder to get in. I had to, make sure that I wasn't cross-threading them. Took a little more effort to screw those in with the supplied tool, but it worked. Just maybe keep that in mind if you want to run the screws in there first while you've got the brackets on the ground. Then that would be, something you might want to do before mounting them up and then having to do it like I did. Other tip, you'll notice I don't have any blanket or anything set across my glass. I did watch another video where somebody did that for fear that they might be dropping something on their glass, and that's probably a good tip as well. I guess fingers crossed I don't drop anything, which is good for me, but in hindsight maybe I should have had something on there, so something else to consider if you're going to mount these. So I will go find my straps, go find a couple of things maybe to attach here, but in the meantime I want to thank Teslaunch again for sending these brackets. Very easy to install. Didn't take, but I don't know what was the total time, maybe 30 minutes with me doing the recording as well. And it looks like pretty good product, and can't wait to strap some things to it and try it out. Thanks for watching. This is Tesla Ken for the HaloCybertruck.com website.